Lots of people used to collect autographs, maybe not so much now. It's more a sort of selfie generation. Someone who does collect and has collected many autographs. John Moss, hello.
Yeah, you say I didn't go out of my way to collect them. They sort of fell into my lap.
People just walk up to you and give them
no,
their
you
name.
just thought of on this occasion, on several occasions in my life, I've come across autographs they've been given to. One such case was I was working in Cumbria at the time. I looked in the bin and there was this letter, and it invited a journalist to go to Scotland, to Glencoe, and meet Wainwright, who wrote the guides to the Lake District, for a new series called Wainwright in Scotland. I couldn't believe it. Put up at the King's House Hotel. So I went up there and we met the old curmudgeonly soul, who was a bit,
he did have a bit of reputation
for being grumpy,
he
didn't he?
did, yeah. He didn't do an awful lot of appearances. So for that reason, this autograph I have here, Wainwright in Scotland, I got him to sign his book. And if you look at it, it's very difficult to tell that the Wainwright signature is not a printed one, because on the front of his books you saw pictures of A. Wainwright, his signature. And then you look at how he's written it, and it's exactly the same. And it's very difficult to tell it's different. So that's
with the joys of modern media, we do have cameras here. So do us a favour, John, and
right.
just turn the book towards that camera there.
That one there is the one that's printed. And if you have a look at the signature, that's the signature, Mr. Wainwright. So it looks exactly the same in my view.
And there's a picture on the back. There's a picture. Has he got his pipe in?
That's him there. I asked him one question. I said, the Lake District's, it's getting quite crowded. And he says, the trouble is, he says, they're letting all these geriatrics in. And I looked at him, I thought, he was about 81 at the time. I thought, well, come on. And you're partly responsible for all these people coming in. Another book I've got, Saving the Gaiety, which is quite a good one.
Oh, yes.
Because this is written by Mervyn Stokes. But inside the cover is, to John, many thanks and best wishes. This is Timothy West and Prunella Scales.
Oh, what a lovely
and they were
combination.
Absolutely wonderful couple. I had a chat with them. I'll put that towards the camera as well. It's also signed by Mervyn Stokes as well.
That's a
Best
better
wishes.
signature.
Yeah.
Mervyn's is the best signature, clearly.
But the biggest number I had is this one. In the year 2007, the Isle of Man TT celebrated a centenary. So I got one of these books, these tomes, I think there were two of them, with all the riders from the years in it. And I thought, I'll see how many signatures I can collect. So I've got a few in here. I'll just go through them quickly. These people. Now, if you're not into motorcycling, you may not know many of these. But anyway, Jim Redman, John Surtees, Murray Walker, Robert Dunlop, Tony Jeffries, Graham Crosby, Rob McElnay, Nick Jeffries, Mick Grant, Richard Quayle, Kipper Killip, Barry Smith, Phil Reed, Jeff Duke, John McGuinness, Chaz Mortimer, Colin Seeley, Bruce Anstey, Giacomo Agostini, Tommy Robb, Ian Locker, Phil McCallan, Jamie Whittam and Steve Parrish.
That's
so they're
amazing.
all in there. If I just open, they're not all on the front cover, but if just I open the inside cover here and show you what it looks like, that's what it looks like. It is actually covered in, you can see Phil Reed's signature there because it's the biggest, but it's covered in signatures, and other people actually
beautiful thing.
turned to the page which featured their picture and signed that. So it's all in that.
And will you keep it forever, or do you think you're going to sell it?
I've always wondered what to do with it, whether to actually auction it and give the money to the funds that are going around or something. Because every TT it comes round, and I think, well, what should I do with this? Anyway,
it's a beautiful thing. I'm impressed, Howard, are you?
It's a fantastic number of autographs there, isn't it? And they're, again, some of them iconic riders. As I said, I have a few. I was just looking at John's list there before. When I used to go out as a kid going around, I've got a couple of those just in a little notebook or something. I used to go and nab them, as we were saying before, at the back of the paddock. But it's always more spectacular, isn't it, if you've got a sort of a document like that in itself and you get them all together, and it does look more spectacular rather than just written on a little bit of paper.
I remember coming up to Manx Radio when I was working there early years, and I walked into the sales department, which was a small room in the top there, and there was a couple of people sitting on the floor, and I nearly tripped over with their legs. In fact, I did trip over. And you look back and think, what stupid... And they looked back, and one of them was Mike Harewood. And he thought, well, OK, he can sit on the floor if he wants to.
He's allowed. Yes, we'll let him. Well, thank you so much for sharing those with us, John.
Yeah, it was a pleasure,
That was wonderful.